Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. You know how counter propaganda works? It's not that you have a bigger propaganda against the propaganda of those guys. It's when you think that you use your propaganda to propagandize people, and actually you have the opposite effect. And that's what I think the Ukrainians did in this case. I have an article where the Ukrainians are naming names and give the entire world a name of a Russian general who was involved in the storming of Azovstal, if you remember, in Mariupol. Now, they sent this information for all of us with the intention of discrediting this guy and calling him a war criminal and so on. But the alternative is there are some people over there who look at this guy as a hero, who look at this guy as a fantastic guy who's going to have a statue one day in Mariupol, for instance. So that's the opposite, that's the reaction to your actions. If you would not have said anything, people would not have known about this general. Now we know. So let's go. Thank you very much for the information. Let's see what the Ukrainians did. You can say, well, it's informative. It's informative, but the effect, don't fool yourselves, is not to inform us. This is the new voice of Ukraine. That's a state-owned Ukrainian mass media, isn't it? So, and look who's owning it. The Ukrainian state, right? Oh yeah, okay. So this article comes from, as I mentioned, from the 29th of September 2022. SBU identifies Russian general who ordered the storming of Azovstal. And I was thinking, let's get it on. Let's see. And we have this guy, and this is his little picture. So now you know. He looks like former Romanian dictator Ceausescu with a hat. Maybe it's him. So the agency stated that the officer in question is the commander of the 8th Guards Combined Arms Army of the Southern Military District of the Russian Armed Forces. It seems like this guy with the other guy that these guys are trying to discredit, but some people might love, is Ramzan Kadyrov, the Chechen warlord, the guy with the big candy. All right, let's move on. The agency stated that the officer in question is Lieutenant General Andrey Mordvicev. It sounds like dead Vichev. All right, so Lieutenant General Andrey Mordvicev. According to SBU investigation, Mordvicev has overseen the occupation of Donetsk Oblast and personally participated in hostilities against the armed forces of Ukraine since February 2022. The units under his command include. Now he personally participated. Now however you want to take it, let's say you fight against an enemy and you have over there a general who actively participates with his troops, like Napoleon, with his troops all the time, right with them in the middle of the fight. Good or bad, your enemy or your friend, you admire courage, or at least involvement. He's not like 3,000 miles away, like General Schwarzkopf, or Schwarzkopf, double, plural, anyway. Schwarzkopf, remember in the invasion of the 20 million people of Iraq. And everybody was, yes, Desert Storm, yeah man, we did it. Yeah, what was the proportionality of troops? Really? It was with a back desert-ridden country. Yeah, we won, yeah, the Desert Storm. Against whom? My God. So anyway, I'm pretty sure there were some US generals right on the territory, because that's the way it started. So he was in command of the 1st Army Corps of the People's Militia, a number of separate motorized rifle brigade formerly connected to the Donetsk Puppet Authority. So he was with the guys over there. The Donetsk Puppet Authority is so-called Somalia Battalion. Oops. The Donetsk Puppet Authority is so-called Sparta Reconnaissance Battalion. And a number of Wagner mercenary units. Where are the Russians? Where are the Russians, like the Russian army? I told you the Russians seem to have fought with auxiliary forces. The Russian army was not much involved. And I think this confirms. I will explain that. The SBU accused Mordvicev of directly carrying out military planning, coordination and management of these units in combat operation. And I'm quoting, among other things, he gave an order to capture the Mariupol district. What do you expect him to do? Not to give the order? That's his job. Where under his instructions, Russian troops destroyed civilian and critical infrastructure and killed civilians, the SBU stated. Yeah, nobody killed civilians ever, and they were all taken to Hague and court-martialed by their armies and all that. Yeah, okay. I'm not condoning war crimes, but whenever you point out something, I want those first. Those should be indicted first, convicted if that's the case, according to whatever evidence you got, and then we move on with the list. Okay, who's next? Okay, so we could start, let's say, with Vietnam. We can start with Vietnam War, or we can even start with the Second World War, if you really want to be that way. Or we're not going to go now to the American-Mexican War, are we? Can we? Should we? Are we going to go to the Indians? No, we're not going to go to the Indians. We should just start with that one. How about that? For a change. And then we can go to the one in Havana, Cuba, remember? Spanish-American War. We can start with the explosion of the little vessel in the Havana harbor. Okay? I mean, like this we can go forever. We can go with the Romans and get the Romans out. Hey, get them out. So, in addition, while on the territory of occupied Mariupol, Mordvicev met with Chechen warlord Ramzan Kadyrov and approved a plan for the final capture of the city, conducting further assaults on the Azovstal-steel works. Under his direct command and control, the Russian troops committed atrocities against Ukrainian service members and civilians. SBU writes, Mordvicev is being charged with a number of crimes under Ukrainian law. So he's P3 Article 110, P2 Article 437, P2 Article 28, committing of criminal offense and then encroachment of the territorial integrity and waging of aggressive war. So these are his charges. So let me give you again the name, Andrey Mordvicev. That's the guy. And as I said, for some people are terrorists, for others they're freedom fighters. It depends how you look at things. The fact, for me at least, I take this guy as a general and he accomplished his mission. Good or bad, I don't care. When Ukrainians accomplish their mission, their generals, good or bad, that's a job well done. You know, it's you can say, well, it's evil. Yeah, he's indicted. He's going to be, you know, charged with this. Who's not? After all, with that, if this guy gets charged, then Putin gets charged, and Lavrov gets charged. If they knew about it, but this is under the command of Putin, right? But if you go like that, then you go with what happened in Iraq or what happened to other countries, and you can go straight to the president. If we're supposed to be just, then the law applies to everyone in the same way. We can't only pick and choose. And the problem that aggravates me is that these guys pick and choose, and then they expect us to support them. I don't support them. I support justice. I don't support justice in this incident, but I don't support justice in this one because you have an interest. There's no more justice. Sorry. Sue me, arrest me, do something. I don't care. We all die sooner or later. So thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.